When you think of bodybuilding, usually thoughts of Muscle Beach and the entire LA muscle scene arise. Last year's USA Bodybuilding Championships were held at the Santa Monica Civic Center, just blocks away from the California Surf. In 1992, the popular annual event was awash in controversy about the new judging standard of muscularity versus femininity. So the results were surprising to some and satisfying to others. Fourth was Suki Bangs, a drug-free lifter originally from Korea. A gymnast for 7 years, she owns Suki Perfect Nails in Venice and trains at the Mecca Gold's Gym in Venice. Kathy Connors, a police officer from Jacksonville, Florida, came in third. In her 12 years of training, she's also been successful as a powerlifter. Thanks to the strength and endurance that the two sports have given her, she will soon become one of the few women SWAT team members in U.S. history. Moving up 3 places from her previous year's finish was Paula Piwarunas in second. Originally from New Hampshire, she's been training and competing since the age of 15 and has won both the Team USA and Lightweight North America titles. Although not heavily muscled, her shape and symmetry were striking.
The dieting is easy just because I get so used to the same foods. I love peanut fish and chicken and rice, so it's a piece of cake for me. And I eat like that all year. My problem is Christmas time when the neighbors make chocolate-covered peanut butter balls. But other than that, it's real easy. So I just like this, diet food, conscious dieting food, so I got lucky.
Winning the lightweight class was Cindy Miller from Aurora, Colorado. Not only does she work up to 60 hours a week managing an athletic club, but she averages another 10 hours a week with the volunteer fire department. Just the year before, she won the lightweight class at the Junior USA.
Even in the athletic club, in the locker rooms, and like, wow, they find it real fascinating with it, at least in the Denver end, and not too much to hear, oh, you look gross, or you don't look feminine, you know. You really have to be like you are for a show to really begin to question people with their reactions.
Former Team USA and Team Nationals winner Carey Hensley came in fourth. The attractive Tucson, Arizona native is still only 22 years old, yet has 4 years of bodybuilding, 7 years of gymnastics, and 3 years of track behind her.
When I started competing, there weren't many teenage competitors, and it was really hard getting started. I didn't have anybody to look up to and look after, and it was real interesting trying to figure everything out. I did have a few coaches along the way, but there weren't many teenagers that my own age that really wanted to do it. So I pretty much did it by myself, working out and stuff.
In third place was the mysterious Leilani, a martial arts film star and former professional dancer. The Azusa, California native started training 8 years ago to rehabilitate her knees and soon began to like the way her muscles immediately responded to training.
Actually, I started 8 years ago. I went to ballet and I was in a dance company and I had a torn ligament and I couldn't dance for 6 months. And this guy that I was teaching aerobics for, he owned his health club and got me into weight training. And from there, I got excited and went into bodybuilding. Did my first show and after 2 years of training and I went overall. I'm like, hey, this is great. So I started going from there.
Runner-up was a staple at the national level, North Hollywood's Drorit Kernes. The former Taekwondo black belt and soccer player finally had enough of sports injuries as a college gymnast. Admiring collegiate men begged her to try lifting weights with them.
I got into bodybuilding in 1980 when I started college in Denver, Colorado, and they didn't have a women's gymnastics team, so I joined the men's team. It's a funny story. So I kind of competed for them for a while. It was more like a joke thing, the easier stuff, the floors, the bars and stuff. And the weight room was upstairs, and one of the guys used to come downstairs and say, oh, you should be a bodybuilder because your legs are so big. And I thought he was crazy because at the time it was the Twiggy era.
Winning the middleweight class was a tremendously improved Jodi Friedman. A personal trainer at the Gold's Gym in Venice, she won the overall California Championships after just 1 year of training, then placed second as a lightweight at the USA just over a year later. In her 18 years of training, gym owner Maritza Ramos has worked out through 2 pregnancies, training right up to delivery day. That's tough. Originally from Puerto Rico, she's been at the national level for 10 years. What an inspiration Danielle Leroy has. Her boss and trainer is none other than the legendary Bev Francis. While managing her Gold's Gym and class of New York, Danielle has won several competitions. and placed at both the Junior Nationals and Junior USA. Runner-up in the heavies was the 1991 Junior National Champion, Tracy Gillespie. The social counselor from Johnson City, Tennessee, was originally an aerobics instructor until she became curious about the weights in her gym.
I think that being a social worker and having being a bodybuilder, for my hobby, has a positive impact on some of the children that I work with, especially the teenagers who are involved in the court system.
Winning the class was the ultimate female judge, Tazzie Colomb, from New Orleans, Louisiana. She's a highly successful personal trainer with clients like Aaron Neville and Linda Ronstadt, and has been placing second and third at national level events for years, though she's only 25.
Well, I think as a North American last year, I was a little too hard. That's what they told me, and they wanted me to come in a little bit more feminine. I can't help the way I look. I'm an athlete. I'm a cross train every day. I can't do enough aerobics, and I came in a little bit too hard. I thought I was in really great shape, and the North Americans, I guess, it wasn't what they wanted. So I toned down a little bit this year, and it seems very successful.
All three class winners were good, and the audience wondered what the new judging standards would dictate. Tazzie had scaled down her size and cuts a little, but was she still too much? Tazzie Colomb proved to be just what was needed and was declared the overall USA champion and would move on to the women's pro ranks. For Muscle Magazine, I'm Chris Adams.